Friends, welcome to Mind and Intellect, NextGen Wisdom Conversations. Very happy to have a student who joined the NextGen Wisdom classes conducted by Saritaji for the last 4-5 years now. And in fact, I'm meeting her for the first time. All these years, she's been attending online sessions. So, how can we not have the NextGen Wisdom without a bright student like Manya? Manya, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to know more about your learnings.
Thank you for having me. Before I start, I'd like to say my deepest gratitude to you and Sarita ji for having me here, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Over the past 4-5 years, I have learned a lot, and it's been a really eye-opening journey. And I'm sure I still have a lot of years and a lot of more things to learn. Something I think that has stuck with me for the past 4 years is the topic of luck. It's something many people discuss, and there's also a very big misconception with it.
Correct.
Actually, a few weeks back, I had this chemistry test in school in which I had scored quite good marks. I had put in a lot of practice. However, one of my friends didn't do as well. She came up to me and she was like, "Oh wow, you're so lucky. You're very lucky. You get good marks every time." At that moment, I was a bit hesitant. I was like, sure. But then the teachings of one of our Vedanta classes came by, and I realized that my luck was not just something that fate had done. It was something that required effort, it required preparation, and it was me grabbing an opportunity.
Absolutely. That's why we keep highlighting. Go ahead.
I remember in Vedanta class, we had come up with this formula that luck is the meeting point of preparation and opportunity.
Correct. Excellent.
Yeah, and I think more than the opportunity, the preparation also matters a lot.
Yes.
Especially how you prepare.
Right.
Because the way you prepare matters, and if your preparation is, based on your swadharma,
Right.
your own nature, and your actual interest, then the way you prepare will also feel more exciting. It will make it easier in a way.
Correct.
And I think the beauty of Vedanta is that everything is interconnected. Right. From jealousy to desires to swadharma to even luck. Right. It's all interlinked in some way.
Yes.
And but sometimes when you put in the effort, your results take a lot of time.
Right.
Is there any way students like me, people, can we stay motivated? How can we stay motivated?
See, I get your clarification. There are times when you put in a lot of effort, but the results are not happening in the way you intend that to happen. It is due to various factors. We have not, what we think is the right approach may not be. This is where you got to introspect. And is there any way I can improve on the process? See, eventually it's process excellence which gives results. Result is something which happens in the future date of time. But when the actions are proper, results will eventually happen. Result is an effect which belongs to the future. Right action is a cause which belongs to the present. Therefore, that's when people say you're lucky. See, you had derived great deal of success in your studies. In different subjects, you have garnered good marks. It is preparation. Alexander Graham Bell had over 1,000 failed experiments. I keep highlighting. Why? Because when they asked him, aren't you tired of doing so many failed experiments? To that, his answer was, I came to know 1,000 ways of not doing it. So it's how you, in fact, it's a very interesting thing. How do you deal with failure? In a way, it appears like a failure. But it is when it is your swadharma and when it is your nature, you're not going to give up on it. So young as you are, and you're doing well in other subjects, all that I'm saying is focus on the process, on how better I can improve the action, quality of action. Result is nothing but an action at a future date of time. And you should not get disheartened by the result. Result is important, but it's not everything. It is not everything. So look into the certain aspects which you have missed out, and prepare yourself in a better way. And as a result, an action well performed is a joy in itself, they say. You've been attending for the last 4-5 years. Therefore, enjoy the process. the interesting part is you should enjoy the process. Results does matter, but when you enjoy the process, eventually it happens. Success may be delayed, but it will never be denied. So have that thought process. Never give up. Work on your own efforts. Little more efforts. Sometimes exams, handwriting also matters. A presentation also matters. So look into various avenues. Luck, only those who see a result, they see an effect, but they don't know the cause. Therefore, say, oh, you're very lucky. But you're putting enough and more efforts. Therefore, you are lucky. Sometimes some subjects are easy for you. Sometimes some subjects are difficult for you. So, which means what? The effort you put in a subject which is easy, it may not be the same level of effort you got to put in a subject which is difficult. It's like, what if you may take 2-3 days in an easy subject, maybe it requires 5-6 days. I don't know. It's like, for me, every subject was difficult. So that's it. So you find out what are the other avenues. Don't get disheartened. Continue with the process. Eventually it will happen. So that's why I agree with you. Luck is a meeting point of preparation and opportunity. Many people think, oh God, he had that opportunity, but the preparation had gone in. So you've seen in tennis, so many factors, amount of practice they do. So I'm glad. At this stage in life, if you deal with luck, understand the proper meaning of luck, then you are better off. Otherwise, we're given to all the wrong notions in life. But I'm glad you have this understanding, Manya. Never give up. That's why success results may be delayed, but it will never be denied. Have that trust in yourself and take as much guidance required in areas of ignorance. I hope it works for you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, like you said that your result may be delayed, but it will never be denied. I think it's very important to understand that throughout your life.
Correct.
Because it affects so many other things.
Correct.
Like this happened in my life, I think a month back. We had these student council elections in school. I had tried out for a position, but unfortunately I lost. I think before I started Vedanta class, I would have, been lost in my sorrow. I'd have cried for days.
Oh.
However, I think after, doing these Vedanta classes, after understanding, it was easier for me to understand how the other person had put in more effort, why they actually deserved that opportunity.
Correct.
And I think that, it didn't allow the jealousy to come in.
Wonderful.
So I think it's very important to understand that.
Correct. That's it. You brought in the important point. See, we get what we deserve, not what we desire.
Exactly.
Such a cruel thing. But anyway, go ahead.
On the same topic, so people who are successful are often labeled as lucky.
Right.
When many people don't understand everything that goes on behind, how much effort, and they think that it's all a game of chance, where in reality it isn't. So how would you define success? Is it something, is it just chance again, or is it something else?
I wish it was chance. Success is never... See, if a person is successful by chance, that will never be sustained. You have seen many, even sports and even or in business, one time they were good, but afterwards they don't know how to... They hit upon something, at that point of time it worked, but sustained success requires effort, as you mentioned, preparation. When I say preparation, there's needs concentration, it needs consistency, it needs cooperative endeavor, it needs perseverance. There's so many other qualities which goes into the fact that a person is successful. Success is an effect. Right action is a cause. That's why we say when there is no distraction. You'll find a person who's successful, they don't give in to distraction. And by design, they're like that. And design meaning they put in that effort. Therefore, they don't get distracted by what the world offers them. And you'll find their choices arise from the intellect, not just the mind, not just the dictates of the mind. You'll find so many soccer players, right? For hours and hours they practice. Or you'll find tennis, sports, or even business. For hours and hours they practice. There's one study done. You need at least 10,000 hours for any kind of a real, I would say, a quality in any particular work. So 10,000 hours minimum. In fact, if you ask me, it's much more. We have put in over 20,000 hours. It is. That's why some people say you're very lucky you joined the ashram and you did all that. Try 4 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week, 365 days a year, no social media, no newspapers, no going out, 3 years. Then you are able to be where you are. I'm not an example, but I'm saying one aspect. I said there was an initiative. Any successful person, you will find there is an initiative. They are able to push. They are self-starters. You don't. It's like you attend Saritaji's classes. Your brother comes and reminds you, but you are there. It's not again another class. No, there's an initiative. So initiative must be there, and that effort. That's why concentration, consistency, and cooperative endeavor. These concentration is your mental discipline. Consistency is your process discipline. Cooperative endeavor, meaning there's no less or no ego. Cooperative, you are able to deal with it in a better way. And for me, success, I want everyone to be successful in the right way. And success should feed your responsibility, not your ego. The more successful you become, the more responsible you become. It is so. For me, success is everything, and we don't want one-roll wonders anymore. We want a holistic wonders. They are good, and none of us can be perfect in everything, but we can be good in many things. We have to fulfill our obligatory duties properly. I hope it answers.
Yeah, it does. I especially like the fact that you mentioned, I remember we learned about the 3 C's to success: consistency, cooperation, and concentration.
Yes.
I think those 3 are very, very vital.
Right.
To do anything.
Correct.
And be successful in it.
Correct.
And I think another formula, just like how there was a formula for luck, there is preparation plus hard work plus perseverance.
Correct.
Correct. Now, so I think it's very, no one wants success without happiness. Happiness is something everyone desires.
Correct.
So when we talk about happiness, the thing I learned about happiness is the end of agitation.
Right.
And it's very well known. It's actually not a very well known fact that happiness is inside us. Right. Everyone searches for happiness outside, in the outside world. Right. From maybe getting a new object to success.
Correct.
Everyone wants happiness from outside things.
Correct.
So not everyone knows that it's within us. Vedanta stresses a lot on the concept of uninterrupted happiness.
Right.
How it's our most, that's our original form. What's your view on uninterrupted happiness?
It's a loaded question, Manya. See, uninterrupted happiness is our original state. All these masters say that is the original state. Happiness is the lack of agitations, absence of frustration. You can't be agitated and happy. It's an absence of frustration. So most people, they are happy when their desire is fulfilled. They wanted to buy a new gadget, maybe the latest phone. They were agitated till such time they got hold of the phone. Now they open the back, and now they're holding it. They feel happy, but actually they are not experiencing happiness. What they are experiencing is the reduction of agitations, is the absence of agitations. So that quietness appears like happiness until the next phone comes up.
Yeah.
next model comes up or something else comes up. So 9 out of 10 are not genuinely experiencing happiness. This is one. And as we keep, I'm sure you would have learned, most of us, we are not fulfilling a desire, we are upgrading a desire.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Therefore, our experience of happiness is momentary for a period of time. But all these great masters said, Happiness is the real happiness is uninterrupted. It's 24/7, and it looks like how can that be?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a tough. Therefore, the more and more you turn introvert, the more you are able to deal your mind using your intellect properly. Then you are able to have a hold of your mind. The desires of the mind becomes easier to deal with, and once the desires are dealt gracefully, what happens? The world doesn't disturb you much. Therefore, your quantum of happiness is far more. And the more and more you deal with desires, the slowly you are able to transcend desires. There's an equation I'm sure you would have learned. God plus desires equals human being. Human being minus desires equals God.
God.
So the barrier is the desires. Desire is nothing wrong. Even to learn about yourself or Vedanta is a desire. But this is one desire which can take care of all other desires. It can eradicate many other desires. So try and pursue desires which you think is right. Don't pick up every desire just because this is where your intellect chooses certain desires, select those desires, pursue it well, and in the process, the quality of desires are higher, the quantity gets eradicated, the quantum of happiness enhances, you're much more happy, and slowly maybe one day you will hit uninterrupted happiness. You can deal with with very lovingly.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's what we should all aim for eventually. And, well, while Vedanta is one very nice way, like, it's a way to, reach that goal.
Correct.
There are many other ways. Yes. Like, I remember we discussed about yoga, how Hatha yoga and, like, the different forms of yoga, they also take us one step further into reaching that goal. But the problem is that while you're going and reaching for uninterrupted happiness, there are so many hurdles along the way. Right. While like selfishness, attachment, distractions, desires. One thing I found really interesting is how everyone is selfish in their own way. Like, obviously, there are some people who are selfless, who have reached that uninterrupted happiness, but everyone has that grade of selfishness.
Right.
There are 3 basic grades. So selfishness, unselfishness, and selflessness. While we get into that later, we learned about the 5 different grades of selfishness. I found that quite interesting because it made us objects. It described us as objects.
Right.
Mineral person, vegetable person, animal person, human person, and God person. While it may sound funny, it's actually quite interesting. So mineral people are like self-centered. They only care about themselves. They care about what they do, how they look, all of that. Vegetable person, slightly better. They care about their closest, let's say your family, your very close friends. Then animal people are people who care about, their community, their caste, religion, people of the same creed. Then comes the human person, who is very good, but while they are mostly unselfish, they don't mind harming people.
Right.
Like, they don't mind, eating animals,
Right.
being non-vegetarian.
Right.
While they may be selfless, while they look selfless, they are not exactly that level. Then come the God people, who are like the ultimate. They have no distractions, they have desires, but they
Right.
use it to their advantage. Then no attractions, no distractions. That ultimate selflessness.
Right.
While people say there are 3 classes, what's the difference between unselfish and selfless?
See, unselfish is still an element of myself is there. Selfishness is me and myself alone. I don't care about my brother Lavin. That is selfishness. Unselfishness, you are able to accommodate far more people, including yourself. Selflessness, there is no me. A flower gives fragrance. The flower is not unselfish also. It's not that Manya is coming in, I will release a little more fragrance, and then Lavin is coming, I will retract. No. The flower gives fragrance. Period. Whoever comes in contact or nobody comes in contact. They function without a motive. selflessness is an absence of little self, which is your ego. You're good at something, you do it to your best. That's selflessness, absence of little self. So selfishness is full of myself, unselfishness myself and others. Selflessness is it is nothing of me, everything of others. Meaning you are a painter, you do your best. You are a musician, you compose to your best. You are an entrepreneur, you do your business to your best. Profit motives are there, but that's not the only motives. You have a talent, you express it to your best. Eventually, things happen. So, selflessness is a state when you reach, when you're able to deal with your mind in a proper manner. In fact, it's a state of no mind. No mind, just imagine a musician, anything and everything is like music for them. So that's how it is.
That's like full dedication
Yes.
towards that one thing.
It's a flow. It's an absolute flow. And such people are great assets to the community, to the world. So that's how they are. Like Swami Vivekananda still contributes. So Guru Gobind Singh still contributes. They are selfless. So eventually, when you start dealing with the world in a better way, you start managing your mind in the right way, there'll be a stage where you transcend the mind. That's the state of selflessness. But make sure that we move from selfishness. In different roles, in some roles we are very selfish, some roles we are unselfish, in some roles we could be selfless. So move from selfishness, be more in unselfishness, and in areas where you can practice selflessness, practice it. You will hit the pinnacle.
I think it's really important to try to inculcate, include all of these things into our daily life.
Correct.
While, right now, there's the whole social media and everything, it's really hard to, reach towards that selflessness goal. But I think if we start, slowly using our intellect more, leaving behind the mind, I think eventually we all can
Yes,
reach.
use the intellect more. Supervise the mind. Don't strangle the mind. Mind is a wonderful equipment, but you supervise the mind. Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Manya.
Thank you so much
the
for having
time.
me.
Wonderful to have you. See you in some other podcast with others as well. Thank you
Yes.
for the time.
Thank you.
And we have a special guest, Divya Purushothaman. She's been attending the Vedanta for NextGen from the age of 11, and now in almost 4 years she's been attending. So it's been wonderful to have Divya in all our sessions, especially the NextGen sessions. And like to ask Divya, what has been your mind impressions in the last 4 years, and what has been your key takeaways from the Vedanta for Next Gen sessions conducted by Saritaji?
Yes. Good morning, sir. It's an honor to be on this podcast right now. Uh, so like you said, sir, I've been attending the Vedanta for Next Gen for 4 years now. I started when I was 11, and now I'm 15. So it's definitely been a while since I've been going there. So I've learned a lot. Vedanta itself is helped me a lot with all that I've learned, because the things that I learned I utilize in my day-to-day life. Um, Here are some of my mind impressions over the years. For one, for me, at least, Vedanta teaches that your true self is your consciousness is beyond physical attributes, and your body-based identification is like a misunderstanding. Instead of seeing yourself as your body, Vedanta guides you to recognize your inner essence, which is essentially whole and beautiful. Um, Then another thing is Vedanta asserts that true happiness is not found by chasing external things, as it can't be bought, possessed, or even displayed. But real happiness, it's a realization of your nature, the infinite, unchanging, blissful reality within.
Right.
External pursuit often leads to only fleeting pleasure and not lasting happiness.
Wonderful. These are all I would say more than mind impressions. Affirm thoughts which is formed at a very early age. It helps you to make right choices in life. Otherwise, people are enamored by so many things in life and you know, get disappointed over a bit of time. It's what they thought is not what actually is. So,
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
all these, it looks like common sense, but it is not. The common sense is the most uncommon thing they say.
Oh,
So many.
definitely. I completely agree. I say that all the time as well.
So that's the thing. I'm glad that, see, in if you find a person who is very progressive, the foundations would have been right. So what you're gaining is the foundations in your thinking. With your mind and intellect, the ones the foundations are strong. When you say foundations, you are learning the truths of life, values of life, and that builds up over a period of time. So very happy, Divya, for all your consistency, for your efforts, and you're also a poet, I believe. Huh?
Yes, I do. I write poetry and songs from time to time. As I'm
Uh,
aspiring to be a musician, it's always good and important to
mm.
practice part of my craft.
Excellent. So we are seeing another Taylor Swift in the making.
Something like that.
Wonderful. So either if you can write poetry and compose your own songs and perform, there's nothing like it. So excellent. So continue with your pursuit. Never miss out on that.
Right. I have a couple of questions I thought about and I thought I could ask you. One thing is that I think it's really important to understand not only like the scripture's teachings, but also to see different examples from there that could be essentially relatable or something at least entertaining to some extent. So, could you share any stories or parables from the scriptures that illustrate the futility of chasing happiness outside or the wisdom of turning within?
See, there are many parables, and I'm taking up one parable which I'm tweeting it in a certain way so that young people like you can relate to it. So there is one parable in the Vedas. It says it's about a bachelor boy, and he had everything in his life: a great family, wonderful education, and he was well mannered and had friends, everything he had, but he didn't have a partner. And
Hmm.
he observed all his friends who had partners. They fell in love and they got into a relationship and they were not happy about it. And so he decided, I'm not going to go through matchmaking services or take anybody's help. I'm going to take the help of the Almighty, the divinity itself, for this purpose. So he goes all the way to heaven to meet up with the Almighty, and then the Almighty God is very surprised. Hey, I thought you have everything. Why did you come here? To which he said, my Lord, you have given me everything, but I don't have a partner. And I don't want to make the mistake of what the other my friends have been making. They're falling in love and messing up their life. I request you to choose a good partner for me. And then to which the Almighty says, your wish is granted. And by the time he comes back, or his mother says, there's a wonderful girl I met. Why don't you meet up? It will be good for you. So they meet, and he thinks it is the divine choice, and he gets married to her. And then 7 years pass, they don't have a child. And again, he goes up to the Almighty and requests, I have everything, but I don't have a child. So the God Almighty grants his wish for a child, and then his wife delivers a child, and again in the 2 3 years they're very happy, and then after a while, the in the 3 4 years, the wife calls the husband, and the bachelor boy now who has become a husband and a father, as our son seems to have a certain problem. He's not able to hear or talk, or he's not able to understand much. Predominantly hearing and talking, it's not happening. So he decides to go up to Almighty and request him to give this potential of hearing and talking. But halfway through, he comes back. He doesn't go to and request and ask for this favor. And the wife was upset. Why did you not ask this favor from the God Almighty? To which the young man says, look here, I will go and ask him to give our son the potential to speak and hear, and he will do that. And by the time our son is 16, 17, he may talk rubbish, he may be abusive. I have to go up again and ask him, can you put some sense? And then he may put some sense, and, our son could meet with an accident. No, no, no. I have to go and request him again that nothing should happen to him. So he comes back and tells that I don't know what to ask the God Almighty. Because his pursuit, he says it is then when he reflects on it. That's why it's this parable, the story is highlighted when this young man, when the bachelor guy wanted a partner. Is that all what he wanted? He wanted
Obviously not.
He wanted a partner who can produce a child. Is that all what he wanted? No, he can produce a child who can speak and listen. Is that all? No, a child who speaks sense. So our needs, our desires are ad infinitum. It is never ending. So
Absolutely. I
yeah,
think the saying that I learned in Vedanta class is like, when your desires are fulfilled, it just means that they are elevated.
correct. The desires upgraded. So
Exactly.
what you the parable highlights what you want now is not what you really want. So find out what you really want. Most people are seeking everything externally. And happiness, pleasure, success, every aspect they're seeking externally. Any amount of search externally will not help you. That's the beauty of this parable. And for young as you are, if you understand, see, we are in the world. You have to perform your duties, your actions, and all that. But happiness, if you start searching happiness and success in the world, beyond a point it becomes empty.
Absolutely.
Beyond so there are various parables and stories. This is one such story, whereby what it conveys is whatever you're seeking, what you want now is not what you really want. So you got to find out what you really want. You're actually looking for uninterrupted happiness,
It
unbroken
essentially,
joy.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
essentially ties into your Swadharma, which is like
Yes,
your way of living your true calling. So,
correct. One aspect is Swadharma, Divya. There's other aspect is see, each one has different roles. You're a student, you're going to be a musician and a poet. You're going to be a partner and a mother and a sister-in-law. Or, so many aspects, so many roles come in. A major, since we spend 8 to 10 hours a day at work, Swadharma, one's own nature becomes very, very crucial and important.
absolutely.
So next time, when you're searching externally, is this what I really want? You got to, that thought process should be there, ingrained.
Definitely. I completely agree. It's always important to really analyze and look at things and understand, is this truly what you're looking for, or
Correct.
is this just the preliminary to it?
Correct. It is like instant versus delayed gratification.
Definitely. I was just about to say. All
Yes.
right. So for my next question is,
Uh,
like, you understand happiness or love as a concept, but
mm.
what if someone is suffering because they think they do not deserve that happiness or love? What Vedantic teachings can best address this thought pattern, and what in general can best address this thought pattern of not deserving the happiness or love that you already understand?
See, everyone, their core personality is uninterrupted happiness, unending love. A person who thinks that they don't deserve happiness or success or whatever they think they don't deserve it, either they would have gone through some experiences which has made a certain negative impression. Therefore, they have done something. There's regrets in their life, and it is a regret is that's why I say you experience when you have performed an action, a choice, and that choice comes back and hits you. So, to people who are experiencing a lot of regrets, they think I have created this. I have the reason for certain people's unhappiness. Therefore, I don't deserve happiness. It is
Right.
their own mind chattering. And what they have done could be detrimental to others. Correct. But yesterday's choices, the what Vedanta says is, look here, how much ever time you revisit your past, there's nothing new to learn there.
Absolutely. We can't
Yesterday.
constantly dwell in the past.
Correct. Yesterday's choices were made with yesterday's maturity. Today you are a better person. Use your intellect, make a right choice in the present. As a result, the future could become better. So, i- a person who functions on the mind, what Vedanta says is, they think that they don't deserve it, they're not fit for it, and even if they experience it, they'll think that it will be fleeting, it will just passes away. And these are people who have been too hard on themselves unnecessarily. Something happened in the past, okay, it's done. But I have changed a lot. I have improved myself a lot. Therefore, I will make a fresh, better, progressive choice, which will help me to deal with the present in a matured manner. And as a result, the future is better. So the suggestion is, don't listen to your mind beyond a point. Take lessons from the past, but don't become a victim of the past.
I understand it
And
completely.
life is present continuous. What's happening now is life. What has happened is just a part of your memory. Even though it could be difficult, it's a part of your memory. You can still work on your, because we have the what they call as the choice of action. Using the choice of action, bringing in the confluence of mind and intellect, an individual's life can be or shall be improved. So that's our suggestion. What Vedanta says is, you are a product of the past, but you are a producer of the future. The result, make the right choices in the present. How much ever time you revisit your past, there's nothing new to learn there. And yesterday's choices were made with yesterday's maturity. Today, I'm a better person, a much more aware person. I will make a better choice and deal with it in the right way.
Right, that brings two things to mind actually.
Ah,
For one, we always say, oh, we should understand past and history so it doesn't repeat itself. But often, constantly dwelling upon it and thinking about it will make us subconsciously do the things we used to do before, which will then
correct,
in turn repeat itself, and it's a vicious
correct,
cycle.
correct. Correct. It's a vicious cycle which doesn't help anybody. That's why I say, how much ever times you revisit your past, there's nothing new to learn there. Learn the
Right.
lesson and keep moving.
It reminds me of a saying from, yes, from Kung Fu Panda, but it's a
Okay.
beautiful saying,
Uh-huh.
is past is history.
Hmm.
Future is a mystery, but right now is a gift. That's why it's called present. And
Correct.
this is a beautiful, beautiful saying that I constantly think about, live by. And I think it's amazing to like look upon to the fact
Hmm.
that we constantly think about the future, constantly think about the past, constantly doubt ourselves, saying, I did this before, what if I do it again? Or what if this happens in the future because I'm doing this right now? But instead of
Hmm.
focusing on what happened or what could have happened or what could happen later on, we should focus
Hmm.
on what is happening right now.
Correct.
Dwell on the
Correct.
present. Yes, it's important to analyze the past, go over your mistakes. Yes, it's important to plan for the future, be aware and wary. But it's
Hmm.
also of utmost of importance, and it's very necessary to focus on yourself at the moment. Because if you
Correct.
can't help yourself at the moment you are in, how will you be able to help yourself going on forward? How will you be able to help yourself using the past?
Perfect, Divya. Now, see, the entire power of change or improvement rests in the present, not in the
Absolutely.
past or not in the future. So, how well you utilize the present will determine how well you progress in life. I'm absolutely with you. I mean, if you have this kind of an awareness at this age, sky is the limit for your success.
Oh, thank you so much. All right. So I have at least one final
Okay.
to an extent question for
Okay.
you.
Uh,
Um, how do we reconcile the idea of effort and self improvement, especially with deserving, with the
mm,
understanding that we're already whole and complete at a level of spirituality? Because right
right.
now we talked about just like understanding, like your
Right.
doubts in yourself, being in the present, but a level of spirituality that we mostly discuss in Vedanta, taking
Mm.
Vedic teachings,
Mm.
how would we understand that we're already whole and complete, even if we may or may not?
See, what you're saying is perfectly right. But there are two levels. One is the absolute level, one is the relative level. From the absolute level, what you mentioned about spirituality, we are whole, we are paripurna, we are all full. There's nothing more we need. It is that is the state of great masters, jnanis, where they have dealt with the desires, they have understood the desires, they chose what desires to pursue, and eventually transcended the desires. Once you have transcended the desire, you also transcend the need for experience. It's like, as long as a person has a desire for ice cream, whenever they're passing by an ice cream parlor, and they say, "Oh, there's a new flavor coming. Let me try it." If you transcend the desire for ice cream, and you could be living next to a Godiva creamery, and you may not be enticed by any of these desires. So, absolute level, we are all about desires. I mean, we are all full, paripurna. But in the relative level, divya or Sreedharan, we are at the relative level. We are in a bundle of desires. So,
Absolutely.
that's why you say to reconcile. Yes, that's a state we have to aspire and reach, but get into the process of dealing with the present. Improve on the quality of your desires by fixing a higher goal, and be consistent. What they call in the Sanskrit shraddha. Have that shraddha in pursuing it consistently without giving up. And once you are able to, if you are able to do that, it is that's where the real change happens. So, at the present level, improve on the quality of desires by fixing a higher ideal and being consistent, and that will help you in reducing the quantity of desires. It's like, when you fix a higher desire, like you want to wake up in the morning, do some study of the scriptures, and then you want to go for a jog, yoga, and then want to have a breakfast at a certain time. Once you start doing it, then you are fixing an ideal, a nobler aim or a goal or an ambition. The quality of a desire becomes better, the quantity, it takes care. Many of the lower desires falls away, like going to bed late, scrolling on the mobile, endlessly. Your lower desires gets exhausted. That's why you are working on the quality of desires. You are improving the quality and reducing the quantity. So if
Yeah,
when you keep doing it, you really progress, and eventually you hit upon uh, that absolute state which you mentioned. We are all full. We are all complete. At that stage is only compassion and love and acceptance. There's nothing more. But in the relative stage, we are all a bundle of desires. And it is a suggestion that when you use the bundle, use your desires carefully. That is, improving the quality, reducing the quantity of desires. If you are able to do that, eventually hit upon the ultimate. So that's the game of life now.
that
And
definitely puts a positive spin onto the saying of desires fulfilled or desires upgraded, because that refers to smaller desires just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. But this putting a positive spin on it, like I said, shows how if you fulfill the larger scheme of things, those big
correct,
desires up there, then the smaller ones that may not be as beneficial to you, they already get fulfilled to an extent.
correct, correct. It already gets fulfilled, and it doesn't bother you anymore. Like how it used to bother you before.
Definitely.
Wonderful. And I'm glad that at this age you have this kind of a awareness and an awakening. And it looks like you've written a poetry, right? You're
Yes,
always into poetry. And if you want to
definitely.
share your poetry, we are more than happy to have that on the platform.
Sure, I'd love to share it right
Yes.
now. I'll read it out. It
Yes.
doesn't have a definite title at the moment, but it's something related to like the most influential learnings that I had from Vedanta.
Mm.
Okay,
Go
here
ahead.
goes. In the glass I stand, chasing shadows of form. Each line, each flaw, a storm I call me. But a silent whisper says, you are not the clay. You are the lamp that makes the clay shine free. On screens of gold, reflections dance, measured worth in pixels hue. Hearts scroll outward, restless, lost, blind to the light that beats within you. In mirrors of screens, the same delusion lies, a world made real by the mind's disguise. What flickers outside can never stay, the self within does not decay. Happiness hides in pauses between. One's desires end and another's begin. It is not found in the things we chase, but in the stillness that knows no wind. To deserve, not desire, so say the wise. Let merit grow where ego dies. For fruit ripens only when roots are deep, and peace blooms not in restless sleep. Beyond faces, followers, gains, or laughs. There shines a silence none can toss. Body and screen, mirrors that pass, but the self remains the sun through glass. So turn the gaze from the glittering sea. In each reflection, seek the one. For silence sings, calm and clear. You are never less and never undone.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Can you just repeat the last few sentences?
Yes. So turn the gaze from the glittering sea. In each reflection, seek the one. For silence sings, calm and clear. You are never less and never undone.
Fabulous. Fabulous. I mean, there's a lot of depth and clarity in your poetry. Fantastic and quite a long one. I mean, this
Yeah.
is even it is when you hone your skills on music and the when you gain knowledge of music, I'm sure this should be one of your songs, which
Possibly, possibly.
because that kind of a philosophical output will always be good. But wonderful effort. This is your calling. Looks like your poetry and music and expressing it through your voice. It's going to be looking forward to the great future of Divya, where we're all a part of it. And I wish many more young people like you understand this for Dharma, align with the values of life, keep learning consistently, and as a result, they're all a great example. And that's why you can be happy not because of something, you can be happy in spite of many, many things.
That's
I
very
think
true. That's very true.
it is, and then at a very young age, if you learn how to deal with your work, your pressures, and the failures, success when it happens is fine. But your work, the pressures which it creates, and then at times the failures a person deals with, if they if they learn it well, if they improve on the mind and intellect, a lot can be achieved in a graceful manner. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much, Divya, for your time, for your all the efforts you're putting in, and we will see you sometime very soon.
Yes. See you
Thank
very soon. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be on here and share my insight for people my age, younger and older, and to express my opinion. So thank you so much for having me on here.
Excellent, because there are a lot of young people who are keen and to learn, may not be aware. That's the reason the whole podcast is to help create awareness for many
Absolutely.
youngsters, for them, so that their quality of choices, their quality of happiness, and their contribution to the society becomes much, much better. So you're all torchbearers for the young generation. If there are more Divyas, then the generation is going to be wonderful. Look
Thank you so
forward to that.
much.
Yes, look forward to dealing with such graceful and a progressive generation. And thank you once again, Divya.